Hey y'all, it's Kat. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to make a lemon cake from a box that tastes like it came from a bakery. So stick around and see how I accomplish this. And welcome to my Southern Farm and Kitchen. Good morning, everyone. I hope you're having a great Easter. Well, it will be Easter by the time you see this. I hope your day has been filled with blessings and just so much joy. I have a lemon cake recipe that I have been using for a long time. And I'm going to kick it up and show you a way to take your box cake mix and turn it into something that tastes like it came from a bakery. It's easy steps, and I'll actually link the recipe below to my blog, but where it says 1 cup of water, you're going to use 1 cup of milk. It says a half a cup of vegetable oil. You're going to use a full cup of melted butter. And instead of 3 eggs, you're going to use probably 4. I'm using 4 for this one because they're really big, but you could go as far as 5 if they're smaller eggs. This turns box cake mix into a very decadent, moist cake. And I also add a box of pudding. So let's get started here. I've done a little bit of prep work to get us going. This cake does not take long at all to make. It is so yummy and so full of lemon flavor, and it just screams springtime. I have been a fan of lemon for years, even before this whole lemon thing has took off this year. You know, as far as decorating and all that, I have recipes using a lot of lemon on my blog. So I've been a big, huge fan of lemon for a very long time. So I can't really take credit for starting this craze. I'm just kidding, guys. But I have lemon cake, lemon pie. I mean, everything lemon. There's always a lot of lemon. Okay, so we're going to start with, instead of the cup of water, we're going to use the cup of milk. And instead of half a cup of oil, we're going to use a full cup of melted butter, which of course you know is 2 sticks. You can't go wrong with butter, you really can't. Okay, and then it calls for 3 eggs. I'm going to use 4 because they are really big. And I do break them separately so I don't get any shell in my cake. Alright, I am not using my beater. I never use a beater for a box cake. If you want to use your beater, you go right ahead. You won't have, you know, you won't get no slack from me if you use your beater, but I use my whisk, and I have no problems at all getting the lumps out, and I don't have to bring it out, and it's just easier. So, okay, let's go ahead and add that pudding before we get it too mixed up so it can mix in with it. And it's just one 3.4 ounce box of lemon pudding, instant. You want the instant. Now, the box says that there's pudding in the mix, and there is, but this just drives that home a little bit more. And this is a very lemony cake. And the glaze actually has lemon in it as well. So you're going to have a bit of a thicker batter to begin with. So let's go ahead and get this all incorporated so I can show you what's next. This goes very fast. So let me get mix tends to be a thinner cake. I think it's a thinner cake. When you add the pudding and the milk, because the milk will get thick as you're beating it too, you have a much thicker cake, and that's what you want. You want it to be thicker like that, because that's where you get the bakery style cake, because their batters are a bit, they're a bit thicker. Okay, this next step is optional. I do it because obviously it's yellow. You can see that it's yellow, but I'm going to drive home that yellow just a little bit, and I'm going to add 6 drops of yellow food coloring. Like I said, that's optional, and it has backfired on me before. I have added the yellow food coloring and completely changed the color, but we're going on a prayer here and hoping that it works. See, it's not going to intensify it that much, but it does kind of drive home that yellow. I mean, you're going to know it's lemon as soon as you bite into it, but you want it to look lemony. And like I said, this is perfect for Easter, and we love it. And I make it during the summer too. This is really good. A piece of this cake sitting on the porch, glass of iced tea, and just watching the world go by. Okay, I'm not putting any more food coloring in that. It is perfectly yellow. But you can omit the food coloring. If you don't like extra additives and artificial colors, you can certainly omit that step. Yes, that is perfect. And it is thick. I'm actually fighting it a little bit here to get that incorporated, but alright, let's put this over here. I'm going to grab my handy dandy Bundt pan, and I'm going to spray these here and here. Really want to get that center, and then around here. I've never had a cake stick to this pan, but there's always a first time. I don't flour it. I just, you know, do it just like that. All right, let me get this cake in here, guys. So I did that off camera because you kind of have to fight it a little bit, and I didn't want you to have to see me losing to cake batter. So just take the back of a spoon and just spread it out a little bit along your Bundt pan. Just like so. It is really thick, but it cooks up beautifully. Alright, so I'm going to put this in the oven and cook it just like the package says at 350 for about 35 minutes, give or take, or until the toothpick comes out clean. So I'll get this in the oven and we'll get started on the glaze. Alright guys, let's get started on the best part, and that's the glaze. I have a cup of powdered sugar with a tablespoon of milk, and I'm going to need a tablespoon of lemon juice. I don't use the artificial. I like the real stuff. Actually not a fan of factory made lemon juice anyway, so alright. Actually, I don't think I've ever bought it. Maybe. So you're going to want a whole tablespoon of this. And I think that is enough. So that's actually the juice of 1 lemon. Yep, that'll do it. That goes right in with the milk and the sugar. And then, I got one here that I had already cut, so I'm going to zest the side of that. So, just a little bit of the zest. As much or as little as you want, or none. It's up to you. Okay. Alright, so a little zest, a little lemon juice, and now let's give it a stir. It takes it a second to come together, but what I'll do too, if it's not the consistency that I want, because you'll know, I just add a little more lemon juice until I get it where I want it. And it needs more. So we're going to add a little more. Sometimes you get lucky and it happens with the first go around, and then sometimes it's like I just did it the exact same way I did it yesterday, and it doesn't want to work. Might have a lot to do with temperature too. Who knows? That is gorgeous with the little flakes. I don't think you can see them, but little flakes of lemon in it. I'm actually going to put just a touch more because I want it kind of thin, because I'm going to drizzle it in different colors for Easter. Normally I wouldn't do that. It would just be a regular glaze, but I'm going to make it a little bit festive. And if I find out that I need more as I'm going, I'll just make another batch. But that's exactly how I want it. Just like that. Can you hear the Keurig? Hubby's coffee is going. Okay. Alright, so what I'm going to do is get me a spoon. And I got these little teeny tiny Tupperware containers. And I'm just going to take... Ooh, that's so lemony, I can smell it. Just a couple tablespoons or so of the glaze. Sorry if I got off frame. Like that. That is super lemony. Do it like this. So we got those two. Okay. And then I'll just, instead of dirtying another Tupperware, I'll just use this. Alright, and you're going to want to try just one drop. Just one. There's green. In theory, the red will make pink, so we'll see. One drop. And then a yellow. And a blue. Drip, drip, drop. Technical terms, drip, drop. Okay, let's see what we got. Yes, that is absolutely pink. That is just how I wanted it. That is going to be gorgeous. Oh, I love it, I love it. Okay, let me get the rest of these mixed up and I'll show you how we're going to decorate. And there we go, lemon bundt cake. You can see how the food coloring really drove home that yellow color in the center. But it is a perfect bundt cake. It's got that brown sugary edge that everybody loves from a bundt cake. And it is perfect for Easter. And it is perfect for summer. Like I said earlier, with a glass of tea on the front porch, you can't go wrong with that. You can find me on Instagram and Pinterest. I'll have that information below. And I hope everybody has a very happy Easter and has a great work week ahead. Bye, y'all. God bless.